Alright, so I'm going to be explaining like the different strategies that you can take in solo queue. And just trying to play my best. And you know, I think a lot of people have like the wrong idea with solo queue in general. Like they would like, you know, a lot of players there would blame Emmanuel for taking my ball, basically. Whenever what he did totally makes sense. And what I did there totally doesn't make sense. You know, I pretty much got on my teammates' way. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that it might be more beneficial for you to focus more on not messing your teammates up than it is to focus on doing good things. Because a lot of times, especially in solo queue, people will try to do like things that are like, they'll try to do stuff really good, right? And it'll end up just being like a negative thing. Like they'll just get in the way or something. And, you know, I think a lot of strategy then could be focused on like, okay, how can I play to make sure that I'm not messing up and not like getting in the way of teammates. And I have a lot of ideas about, you know, like Rocket League fundamentals and like what to focus on to improve, especially if you're trying to go pro. These things don't matter as much if you're just trying to have fun. You know, especially if you're trying to have fun, like in ranked, it might just be better to just, you know, ball chase and, you know, try to hit as many clips as possible. But that's not really what I'm going to be focusing on, because that's never really what I focused on. Like, I've always been, except for when I was like really new to the game, I've always been trying to, you know, just get as high rank as possible, win as much as possible, and, you know, eventually try to go pro. So that's what this is going to be focused on. That was my shot. Let me see that again. He kind of got a pinch with that. That's nice. But yeah. So we're focusing mostly on like just how to play ranked and just how to, you know, focus about the game in general. And, you know, if y'all are more interested in, you know, me explaining thoroughly like different fundamentals and different ideas, especially like mentally, then I can make some like, you know, tutorials and guides on those subjects. You know, at the moment, I just want to get something out there, you know, kind of explaining and talking about, you know, the things that I want. Because I watch a lot of Rocket League content on YouTube. I don't really watch that much on, like, I don't really watch much on Twitch. Because on Twitch, I don't know, I don't really like watching VODs, and I really don't like watching, live. Because live, Rocket League is a lot of, like, sitting around, you know, when you're watching, like, top 100 level, you know, pros. You really just sit and replay a lot. And I don't like that. I don't think it's very fun. But, so let me know if y'all are interested in, you know, making some tutorials and whatnot about the fundamentals that I have on this game. You know, whenever I watch, you know, other people's like tips, tip videos, tutorials, whatever you want to call them, you know, I don't really see any of them doing a good job explaining like how to get better at this game. You know, whenever I watch them, it's mostly they give like very specific situational tips. Like in this situation, you want to do this, right? Like a second man, you know, when you have the ball, you want, you know, you're gonna stay close and be able to receive a pass. You know, these sorts of things. I'm gonna go for this. Try pinch it. Can turn on this probably. He's gonna hit to the right, so I'm just gonna be here, and then good try. So these, I always like to look at my teammate. See, he's going to the right, so I don't go to the right. A lot of players there will just like hard do one thing all the time, and then if you hard do one thing all the time, then sometimes you're gonna get like messed up by your team. Gonna rotate. I really wanted to like go still like as boost. That guy's... he like landed there, so I'm gonna leave. A lot of Rocket League, especially at the high level, is like adjusting. You can't do the same thing all the time. Unless that same thing is just like being really good mechanically. He left that boost for me, actually nice. Playing off the backboard there, not give my teammates a shot there. You know, a lot of people think that solo queue there's like no teamwork involved, which I can disagree with more. Like as you can see, you can be the person to set up that. You know, most of the time it's going to be like you're alone and you have to just do a solo play to set up a team play. But even there, like I just know my teammate's gonna be middle, and I can just be the person to set up that team. And a lot of players are like low ranks gonna say, well, I set up my teammates and then they all whiff. You know, that's a fair argument. That happens to me sometimes too. And when that happens, you know, it's you kind of just have to switch. You know, switch up what you're doing. And like I said before, you can't always do the same thing every game and it work out, right? You gotta adapt. So for instance, if you're doing a lot of passing plays, they're not working, then try doing solo plays, right? Like literally just trying to 1v3. Now this is an awkward start because like, you know, someone's AFK and then like double commits and then, you know, everyone just whiffing basically. This is things that happen a lot and you have to shake it off. If you're gonna try to win despite what's going on, you have to like shake it off, not worry about it, move on to the next play. You know, you can't just assume your teammates are trash just because one mistake happened. Or even one like series of mistakes. You know, in the end, it's just one. See there, I should have been solo playing and I was even trying to, but I just didn't do it very well. That was an amazing pass. I'm gonna get over them, maybe bump. Okay, so I can see my teammates have been centering it a lot on offense, so it might be an indication to trust them a little bit more in terms of like passes and whatnot. I can tell that they can get the ball where I want it to go. Can I open? Dang, I shouldn't have dodged up there. I was gonna pass it down left, but then he rotated out. I shouldn't have been passing to him because that was the guy rotating out. Like I should have passed to the guy up on the backboard. Because usually you want to always pass to the guy, you know, that's basically ready for the pass. So the person that I was trying to pass to was rotating out, which it's risky for that guy to like stay there. So I shouldn't have passed to him. Go backward here. It's always good to just be here in case like you need to go up. Because sometimes it'll be really like a high hit, right? And you don't really want to be sitting here when the ball, you know, goes out really high. just literally putting pressure on, and I can immediately rotate out. I can stay here for a cross. And now I have the opportunity, sorry. Solo play. You cross here. Really important to like just be there in case it goes middle. Yeah, he could shoot, so I'm just sitting back. He's probably just gonna hit the stone middle. I just got a position for that. We should have darn that. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. A lot of challenges by my teammates here. They're not challenging when they should. So like, for instance, the person that doubled with me, he shouldn't be going there. He should know that I'm going to be jumping for that. And the person before that, he wasn't defending anything with this challenge. So it wasn't a good challenge. A lot of goals at this rank, which is like just under like SSL basically. A lot of these stem from just like bad challenges. Whenever there's like a defensive mistake, it's usually like people don't know how to challenge properly. Whether it's like they haven't played enough like 2/1s where they don't know how to like 1v1, you know, like challenge the ball properly. Or whether it's as a team, they don't know how to challenge as a team properly. Okay, potential bang here, so I'm just staying back as third. Because my teammates are like kind of chasing, so now I just get a good challenge in. Try to figure out where the ball is going to go next. The ball's probably staying in their half, so I can come in and demo and whatnot. Should be a opportunity here. Good try. Could be a bang, so I have to turn back towards that. Nice. I'm going to go up and out. Ping up field. Maybe teammate can get a dunk or something. Oh my. What a team play. I don't use chat on my main account. This is kind of crazy. This is like a little pop, and then I like pre-jumped it. I mean, if I didn't jump, I might have like hit the crossbar or something, so. That is perfect. Team plays. That's fine. Yeah, Woody's just gonna cheat up here, so I'm gonna stay third man. Okay, I have to wait for Woody to get back. Now I can challenge. This is not the greatest. There's not really a good reason for whoever first man there. Wow. He set it perfectly. Regis up there on the wall. So Regis was in a perfect situation to do a 1v1 play, which he was in a 1v1 against me. And Woody wasn't like able to get back in time to actually be in the play. So basically, like, WoW put me in a 1v1, and then he just did a really good, you know, air dribble bump play. And obviously, you've probably heard this a bunch, but air dribble bumps are very hard to defend. Near impossible if you do it correctly, basically. Wanted to control the wall there. Didn't get a good control. As you can see, most of these goals are team-oriented plays, so like flash up to Karam, and then Karam just redirects it. And then it was going in, but you know, back to flash took it. Okay, kick-off goal. If there's no kick-off goal, you surrender here. Okay, so there's a huge opportunity. So we're gonna get the boost and stay in the play. Now we just go. It's one of those like you kind of just have to go. And if you score, you're still in the game. Perfect. Now if this is 2s or 1s, obviously you still wouldn't forfeit here. But in 3s, pretty much GG. So a lot of people are going to tell you, if you want to rank up in one, or if you want to rank up a solo queue, like in 3v3 or 2v2, you have to just play defensive, you know. It's usually the biggest tip is play defensive, play more passive, you know, stuff like that. And while I do think that's valid, because I think people just generally should play more defensive / passive, I think better tips is more, you need to really think about if you're going to rank up, right? If you're gonna carry, right? If you're gonna be the difference maker, like what does that mean, right? What does that entail? Well, I mean, basically, if you're gonna be a difference maker, if you're gonna rank up a solo queue, you need to just capitalize on your opportunities, right? So for instance, when you get these solo play opportunities, you don't have to hit the best clip of your entire life, right? So for instance, if I'm coming up off the wall here in solo queue, I don't have to, you know, try to get some insane, you know, flipper set, although like that was a pretty simple set, but I'm gonna set up like a what I was talking about. So for instance, like I don't want to like be here and then try to do like a double flipper set into, you know, musty flip double tap, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times in solo queue, you want to do what's safe, just like you would do a tournament or a competitive game. In a competitive game, I mean like a scrim. So want to do something really good, but also consistent, right, and easy, foolproof. But basically, a lot of the times it's going to be, you know, simple air dribbles into dunks, right, like this. You know, maybe even going over and dunking, right, something like that. Pretty easy for, you know, UC level players. Also, okay, if this hasn't been, you know, pretty obvious enough, these videos are geared more towards high level players, people that are trying to go pro, basically. Obviously, if you're trying to go pro, all these tips will apply to you. It's just you might not be able to use them, right? You might not be able to, you know, start an air dribble and then tap, but you can still know that that's what you should be trying to do, right? Because ultimately, you're trying to improve. It's not like, you know, a lot of players look for just the quick fix, right? They look for like just one tip that's going to help them win all their games, right? And they might find a tip like play passive, you know, play more defensive, because that might be what they should be doing. So they'll win in the short term and maybe even improve from that, right? I think a lot of players, they get hung up on these sorts of things and they don't really think about how what they need to be focusing on is improving, not just winning. That's a little dangerous. Wait, watch the double touch here. I had to defend the double touch. I think he's gonna have again. Yeah. We should have. I'm just gonna take to the corner here. I'm really just trying to like get the ball out. Literally just clear the ball as best as I can. Probably shouldn't have taken that guy's boost. Gotta defend the shot here. I did it out a little far. Okay. Trying to figure out what's going on here. And can't tell what's going on, honestly. This is just one of those, dang, you're playing with low rank players, they suck, you know? It's not one of those, you shouldn't really think about, you know, why you should have done better in that situation. In that situation, it's like, move on. The biggest thing is not getting emotionally tied up. You don't want to think your teammates are trash and can't win solo queue. Everyone sucks in solo queue. You know, we just got to keep going on and keep trying to play our best. Because I've literally watched players over and over again, like, start out playing really well, and then teammates will make one mistake that isn't even a big mistake. Sometimes it's not even a mistake. They just, like, the play didn't work out. And then, like, they're going to classify it as, dang, my teammate's terrible. And then after that, they just immediately start playing terrible. And it's really sad. I'm like, you could have really made a huge difference in this game. Like, you could have won this game easily. You just didn't get to. And it's weird because a lot of times it doesn't even feel like tilt. Like a lot of times it's just, you know, like you're just not taking advantage of every play you can, and you're just, it's little tiny things that just add up. We got a little time, get this boost. We're only down by 1. We got a lot of time left. You know, a lot of people in this situation are going to get way too greedy and try to score instantly, which they should. If you have like a good opportunity like on the ball, then by all means, you know, try to do your best to score. But a lot of players will take that way too far, and like with their positioning as well, they'll start like being in a really bad position and not playing, just not playing properly. The enemy team here is doing a really good job, like playing as a team. Like they're positioning really well. Like none of our clears are getting past them, except for like the one clear that I had earlier. Which means we're probably rushing our clears a lot. So like for instance, we're always diving across the net, just hitting the ball away, right? When we really need to be controlling the ball into like the corner and then trying to clear, like the one play that worked for us, right? Like this is a great opportunity. You should just try to dunk here. So going to the corner there is like basically as safe as it gets for them, so that's why you want to avoid at all costs. Just try to dunk into the middle there. Offense. Not taken. Not quite time to FF yet. Once we get to around 30 seconds, that's whenever it's unrealistic. Back to the... Yeah, probably could have came back if teammates didn't really give up, but that's okay. What are you gonna have to deal with in solo queue? You know, people are gonna give up, and you just have to power through it. You know, don't let noobs, you know, don't let weak-minded players, you know, affect your mental state. You know, if you're gonna rank up, you know, if you're gonna make a difference, you gotta be the different, right? You gotta be different than everyone else. You can't just go along with the crowd and, you know, expect everything to work out. You gotta put in the extra effort. Stay mentally strong.